Hey guys, welcome. This is a general reading for the collective of air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Don't click away. Yeah, it's a pick a card, but let me tell you, it's not your mother's pick a card. I designed it a specific way because I myself am not a fan of pick a cards the way I see them from most readers. So let me tell you, I spent some time developing this and, so that I felt good about it. So I hope you'll join me for this intuition building exercise. What we're going to do here is have you ask your most burning question about your relationship. That's what I read for, is relationships, in case you're new. Hi, welcome. And so I want you to think of your most burning question, phrase it in a positive way, right? Meaning, is this going to fall apart? Is a negative way. It's a lower vibration. So phrase it in a positive way so that the answer would be a yes or a no. I also don't ever do that. So this is all new and different for me. The reason why is this is a great format for yes/no questions. So think of your question that would require a yes or no answer. Write it down so that you know the question. You're holding it in your mind. You're holding it in your heart. And then once you've got your question locked in, you know what you want to know. I want you to take a very deep breath, deep cleansing breath. Hold at the top and then exhale. Center yourself, feel yourself center and get nice and calm. And then let your intuition guide you to the pile that holds your answer. Pile A, pile B, pile C. A and C both have rainbow fluorite crystals on them. Pile B has a clear quartz crystal on it, in case that matters. Pile A, B, or C. And then lock in your choice. No takesies, backsies. I will do a full reading with this deck, with each deck, and it will tell the story that will help explain the answer. Okay, and keep in mind, sometimes the no means not right now. It doesn't mean no forever. Okay, so keep that in mind, because that has been true in some of the readings I've done where I could see what was evolving and could help you see why it isn't happening now, but could be evolving as time goes on. So I just want you to keep that in mind. Okay, so what I'm going to do is say, yep, you picked your pile, you've got your question. I'm going to go out of this video and move everything out of the way and jump right into pile A's reading. I'll do the same for pile B, the same for pile C. So that's why that's why I'm editing the video, so that you don't have to watch me do all the cleanup. That's the only reason why. But it is time-stamped, so you can jump to the pile you want to watch. PAC stands for pick a card, A, B, or C. There are corresponding extendeds to it. Those extendeds are included in your All Access Pass membership. If you have one, look for the collection that says Astrology, Transits, and Specialty Readings. They will all be there. For the rest of you, I priced it a couple dollars cheaper than the regular extendeds because they're not quite as long and they're more specific to this style. So I hope you enjoy that little bit, a couple dollars discount. Okay, and don't forget, I'm going to pick a oracle card, but don't forget, if you enjoy my readings, if you're here to play and have a good time and you're like, wow, my intuition was pretty spot on, or I learned a lot about my situation with this yes/no format, just go with it. Subscribe below, like if you feel called to do so, hype if you feel if you have a hype left, hype to kind of get the video out in the algorithm. Those are my requests, and I thank you in advance for that. So let me go ahead and also say that this is good for Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node. So you can use your North Node. It would be best if you watching are the one with the air energy, with the Gemini, Libra, or Aquarian energy, and not as a cross watcher. So if you came here to cross watch, maybe go watch the collection that has your placements. If they're fire, I did that already. If they're earth, I did that already, and water will come tomorrow. Okay. I'm pulling from Fortune Oracle just to kind of kick this reading off. Ooh, wow. We get card 10. 10 is completion, and we get fire. Wow. It says, let go of emotional upheaval and embrace the renewal of the present. Yes, this is pretty powerful, especially because we had a lot of that. We had a full moon in Aries at the beginning of the month. We had Mercury moving into Scorpio, now just today moves into Sagittarius, which is another fire sign. So all of our thoughts and our perceptions very much in this, you know, fire energy, almost purification, if that makes sense. Yeah, Pluto stationed direct at 1 degree of Aquarius, which is the air energy, and Mercury is now in his pre-shadow phase. He just ticked over into Sagittarius, will do his retrograde and bounce back into Scorpio. So we've got a lot, and we're in the Scorpio mansion, and the reason why I'm bringing that up and why it's important is because Scorpio represents the phoenix rising from the ashes. Okay, took the long way to get there, didn't I? So think of it that way, that there's something that you are burning off the emotional upheaval, letting it go, and embracing the renewal of the present. Let me read it to you. I love this for you, actually. I think it works out with the astrology for the month of October. It says, fire is all about renewal and purification. What did I just say? Okay. Just as the bush or forest fire destroys old growth, it also makes way for a time of rejuvenation and new growth. This card is all about a fresh path for you, but it also asks you to let go of the past. Lackluster relationships or situations that you have swept under the carpet may finally come to an end. There could be emotional upheavals as you do this, and you may find it difficult to relax. Know that there will be new life to come. In the relationships portion, it says, there is a raging fire in your life. Is anger consuming you? Is someone in your life causing you trouble or being self-destructive? Worry over a child or someone causing you problems, and grief could also be a burning passion. Now is the time to stop walking on eggshells and communicate openly instead. Totally your strong suit, right? Volatile situations could come to a climax, but this will be for the best. Release all your feelings about a child or partner slowly and rationally. Otherwise, they may come out in a sudden explosive outburst. So if you're struggling with either, a child or in a relationship and anger is building up, you kind of want to burn that off. You want to burn off the emotional dysregulation and bring yourself to center like we just did. You can use breathing exercises, embrace, burn off the past and embrace the renewal of the present. Fire signs also had the Phoenix as their oracle card, and it looked very similar to this, and I advised them to also do a little ritual with fire. So if you happen to have any sage or Palo Santo, do clearing. Okay, do some clearing. And if you don't have that, you can also write out some of your feelings and frustrations. Bullet points. You don't have to do a whole long journal about it, because you're going to take it outside and you're going to burn it as an offering to the universe. If you can't do it outside, do it in the kitchen sink with a metal pot, right? You don't want to burn your house down. But somehow using fire to burn off, burn off all this emotional upheaval. Okay, so that's what I have to open the reading, and I'm going to cut away now so we can start with pile A. I will see you all in a second. Okay, my pile A people, this is how this works. We're going to have the major arcana are a yes, the court cards are a no, the even cards 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 are a yes. The odd numbered cards, including the ace, 3, 5, 7, and 9 are a no. I didn't develop this part by myself. The creator of this tarot deck, her name is Barbara, I can't remember her last name right now. Very famous tarot deck and oracle deck creator. She created the system. It's in one of her books that I have. So, don't shoot the messenger. If you think it's wonky, click away. But it tends to be a type of spread that you can do when you're looking for a yes-no response. Okay? So, had a couple nasty comments yesterday about that. And so, I'm letting you know now. I didn't develop it, but it works. Here we go. I'm going to pull the spread, give you the yes, no, and then tell you the storyline that comes through. So we are opening with the moon. The moon is crossed by the 9 of Wands. So this is a very fraught time emotionally, and it's difficult to persevere because there are a lot of apprehensions or fears of what you don't know, what you can't see, and it's making it hard for you to keep going. All right, and the root of the problem, right? No reciprocity, 6 of Pentacles. In the past, things were good, 9 of Cups. Top of mind, 7 of Swords. Okay, so there might be some of you afraid that you're dealing with someone that isn't being really honest or who's being avoidant in the near future. The Magician, we're manifesting something new here. Spirit's message. Happy days. Hidden energy of your person. Page of Wands. That might be a positive message and some optimism. And look where you're headed here. In the outcome position, how might things unfold going forward? And you have the 4 of Wands. So again, major arcana and even numbers are yeses. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yeses. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 no's. So it's a yes. It's not a definitive yes because it's, just right there, sort of on the borderline. One extra card could have upset the whole apple cart, but for now, it's a yes. Okay? So whatever your question was, the answer is yes, and now I'm going to tell you the story, and I'm going to do a little clarifying. As I said, this is something that, you kind of can't, you don't know what's lurking behind that energy with the moon, and sometimes our emotions get triggered, our fears get triggered. It's difficult to persevere and stay in it because, sometimes fear takes over. What are you really worried about, fearful about? There's been a lack of give and take. Is this person invested in this connection to the degree that I am? There might be a struggle around that. In the past, this can be either that things felt really good for a time. It can also be about complacency. Like somebody who's just been sort of, taking it as it goes and seeming like, these things are good as they are, when for you, they haven't been good. And top of mind for you is the 7 of Swords. That can either be, like I said, I'm going to clarify this one for sure. Your worry may be about somebody who isn't being honest with you, or maybe they're being deceptive with you. It can also be about someone who's being avoidant, not wanting to deal with something head on. But in the near future, you may be manifesting some new, renewed energy because Spirit's talking to you about happiness and feeling safe and protected in your vulnerability. Your person, it kind of goes with what I was saying about the 9 of Cups with complacency. It's kind of like they do see things as good. It's fun, flirty, generally positive outlook kind of energy. They could be gearing up to reach out to you with a positive message, but it doesn't take itself too seriously. And it might be that this person is not giving as much to the connection because they may not take it as intensely as you do. Okay, so we want to keep that in mind. That doesn't mean that they don't have feelings. It just means that the way that they approach relationships is possibly a little bit more nonchalant. But as we move forward, there could be something that shifts here toward a life partnership. So let's see what we get. I'll clarify what I feel the need to clarify. The moon for sure with the 9 of Wands. Page of Pentacles. Strength card. 7 of Pentacles. So yeah, in order to overcome this obstacle, my loves, you're going to have to take it one baby step at a time. There's something to be learned in that process, and give it time. So not just take it one step at a time, one smaller step at a time, but also give it the time it needs. Okay? Because there's something that you're being triggered around, and it's hard to keep persevering. So what do you do about that? You just take it one step at a time so that you can overcome the obstacles. You give it the time that it needs. It's calling on your patience to allow things to evolve organically, little bit at a time, instead of eating the elephant all in one bite. Okay? So that might be a way to calm your fears, your insecurities around this situation, and allow you to persevere a little more. We definitely want to look at this 6 of Pentacles. Right. There's been no reciprocity. This is the root of the problem. We have a relationship. You see this person potentially as a soulmate. You're giving all. You might not be getting back in equal or equitable measure. The 6 of Pentacles is talking about investment, being invested and being generous. Generous with your time, generous with your energy, generous with your effort, with your resources, generous with your spirit, generous with your love. Those are my 6 Pentacles. It kind of covers everything in a relationship that's important. And if you're giving all of that to this connection and not getting it back, you know, and it doesn't have to be equal. It's about equitable, right? Something that feels fair and equitable to you. And I think that's what you're struggling with. Let's look at the past here with the 9 of Cups. Give me a card for that. Ooh, wait a minute. I'm going to go deeper into this. Wow. Okay, there it is. So I think things felt really good for you. I think you felt like, yeah, this is the one. This is it. This is my twin. This is my person. We're going to, you know, spend our lives together, build a life together. And it felt really good. So for you, this 9 of Cups is great. But something that was lacking was this person's investment. So for you, things feel good. For them, it feels good too, but in a different way. It feels good like, I don't need more. I'm good with things as they are, not good with where I think they're going. And that leads to heartbreak, heartache, pain. Okay? So I'm feeling like things were going along great and you're seeing all the potential and things feel good, but good in your mind as you can see where it's headed, but then you dealt with someone who's sort of kind of saying, yeah, but I'm just good with how things are. We get together when we get together. When we don't, we don't. It's not a big deal. And that can be very, very painful. Because in essence, it's like this person isn't really invested to the degree that you are. So now we have the 7 of Swords, top of mind. Wow. There's the Magician, and we're gonna clarify that. But I think what you're processing right now, especially in your mind, because swords is air energy, it's like a question. It's a question. Does this person plan to come toward me with any kind of tangible offer? You as divine feminine, you're open to that. You're receptive, especially we've got the Lover's card here, so those two kind of go together, because you have already imagined this connection existing at a different level than maybe this person is experiencing it. And so they could be avoidant. I feel as if you're trying to manifest them being more sure, being more intentional, being, coming toward you with some seriousness. That's not really the word I want to use. Something that feels like it's legit. Like, no, they want to be here. They want to be with me. We're on this journey together. What they have to offer me is something tangible. It's not just over here in the air. It's not just like a good time. It's something that leads to something meaningful. So I feel like that's what you're manifesting, but this person is like looking back over their shoulder at it and running in the opposite direction. So top of mind for you is, what's this about? Why is this person not as generous with me? Why are they not as invested? Is this something to really be concerned about? You're trying to manifest someone who arrives and then stays, right? Not someone who's in and out on a whim, but there's like this overwhelming sense from that main spread card that, maybe this is someone who is avoiding me, who doesn't want what I want, who isn't invested in this, who's just taking me for granted, taking what I give, not giving in return. Can you see how that could cause a lot of deep wounds, a lot of hurt feelings, a lot of heart heaviness? So in the near future, let's look at the Magician. Wow. Methinks you're going to pull it off. The Empress manifesting the Knight of Pentacles, right? Someone who isn't avoidant, who doesn't run away. That's what's top of mind. What's the result of your manifestation? Divine Masculine. Divine Masculine shows up. Wow, 9 of Swords. We've got lots of anxiety, worry, overthinking, over-processing it. And there's the Queen of Cups. Because this is your heart. Because this is about your emotional investment. I feel this makes sense. That you kind of go into overdrive in your mind because your heart is so vulnerable. But you're manifesting a Divine Masculine. I think it works. And then Spirit comes in with this. Now, let me just say here that you might need to work on this. You might need to, right? That's why you're getting this card. Let go of emotional upheaval and embrace the renewal of the present, right? This is some emotional upheaval here, for sure. So you want to let go of the emotional upheaval because you're manifesting a Divine Masculine. Spirit's talking to you about the Sun. Ow. Good. So we have this little Page of Pentacles over here in the hidden energy, but Spirit says, this person might dress up in all this fiery, passionate, kind of lighthearted and high-spirited garb, but they're a pretty reasonably, cerebral person. Don't fall for, the in and out of it all. And, no, there's a King of Swords here. The King of Swords has good intentions. The King of Swords is also a strategist. So they have a plan. Okay? And it's not an evil plan. The King of Swords knows what it's doing for the King of Swords so that it's best for all involved. Your situation may involve some aspects that this person knows they have to navigate before they can fully commit to you, whatever that is. It could be different for each one of you. You'll know what I'm talking about the minute that came out my mouth. You're like, that's exactly it. There's how many times has this person told me I have this thing to do or that thing to do or whatever it is, and it may not have been a focus of a conversation. It might have just slipped by your ear, but you picked up on it. Yeah, they have a plan. The passion, the desire for you is real. Enjoy it. It brings happiness. The World card, endings and new beginnings. So behind the scenes, we're going to close out something that feels a little bit more hurtful. The sense of avoidance, the sense of somebody who's kind of nonchalant and complacent isn't really the case. And that's going to close out and bring you a renewal of the present. But you got to kind of calm yourself and allow this person to sort of show up with their honor and integrity, wrapped in a blanket of passion and high-spiritedness. Okay? Give me a card on this Page of Wands. What is the Page of Wands about? I am telling you, this person is keeping things a little bit light because they're very aware of the construct of all things in divine time and order. So there is something this person definitely needs, something or some things. There are certain things that this person has to have in order before they fully invest. But that doesn't mean that they aren't optimistic about it, that they don't see that, this is like destiny. This is supposed to be. But maybe it's kind of unfolding in divine time and you're being called to be patient in real time, right? And to take it one step at a time and to enjoy this person's optimism, their positivity, their flirtatiousness. Like there's something here that feels, yes, King of Pentacles. I am telling you, this person very much attracted to you, very much desirous of you. Now, for some of you, I'm just going to say, because I want to address it, for some of you, this Seven of Swords and this Queen of Wands can be connected, like a karmic partner. This person could be married. This person could be recently out of a marriage. This person could be, still dealing with an ex who isn't getting the memo, right? That it's done. So I feel like this person is taking the connection with you a little lighter to keep it uplifted and positive while divine time is unfolding, and will eventually bring them back into the fold with you as King of Pentacles. So we've got the Knight of Pentacles is what you're manifesting. What you're going to get on the other side is the Emperor with King of Pentacles energy, leading with King of Pentacles. King of Swords too. Those two energies, by the way, Swords and the Pentacles, really good, because it's solid, it's invested, it shows up for you, it has your back, makes a great life partner, someone you can depend upon, that's reliable. The King of Swords, seeks to serve the greater good for all involved, and has high standards and ideals, and really is all about the strategic way this is unfolding so that no one gets hurt. Wow. Four of Wands. Two of Swords. There's your intuition too. Yeah. So as things unfold, I feel like there's no real concrete conversation about it. The Ace of Pentacles and the Four of Wands kind of can be that offer for life partnership. For some people, some readers call it the engagement ring card. I don't really call it that, but I can see that as one potential, because we had the Ten of Pentacles with the Lovers here in the past, but then this person has to kind of keep keep the lid on the pot as certain things are being worked out. But important decisions will be made. You will reach that crossroads. You won't have to say a thing. You can trust your intuition about it, that this new beginning of life partnership with your person is right there on the horizon. It's right there. It's coming at you. You just sort of have to get very clear that that's what you want. If that's what you want, get clear. Make the decision that that's what you're open to and available for, and then allow your intuition to be the guide as that unfolds. Because I really do feel it's a decision you will both make, that you're ready for that. And I don't even think it will be something that is thoroughly discussed. She doesn't speak. It'll just be the way the two of you move around each other energetically. And that intuitive kind of communication that we have with somebody, where we don't have to say a word. We know we're both simultaneously making the decision at the same time. And it happens at a perfect crossroads, which is what this person is understanding, in a way where it's like they know, King of Swords, there's a bigger plan. And they're accommodating for that. Okay? That's why you're getting a yes, but it's unfolding, and you've got to kind of manage your own fears and burn off the emotional upheaval so you can be prepared for this renewal. Okay? I mean, it's a pretty fantastic reading. I really think it's great energy. Obviously, gonna go into the extended. I don't really have a card that represents their energy the most, because the main spread card, mostly we have a Page of Wands, but I'm going to call them the Emperor for now, because that's who you're really manifesting. So we'll jump into the extended from here. The link is below, and we'll take it from their point of view. We'll see how they're processing. What's the plan, Stan? Okay? So the link's below. I will see you there in a second. And for the rest of you, I'm moving on to pile B. Here we go. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to click the bell. Don't forget to like, share if you feel called to do so. Hype if you have one left over and feel charitable. I would appreciate it. See you in a second. Bye for now. Hey guys, welcome. Here's your pile B reading. I did not develop this part where we determine the yes/no, but the creator of this deck did. Her first name is Barbara. I cannot remember her last name. I don't have any of her. Wait a minute. Do I? Barbara Moore. I did have her stuff. Okay, Barbara Moore is a pretty famous tarot and oracle card creator. She's written some books, and in one of her books was this yes/no format. So it is not of my creation. If you don't like it, don't shoot the messenger. Go tell Barbara. Here's how it works. Major arcana are yes. Court cards are no. Meaning king, queen, knight, page are no. Even numbered cards, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 are yes. And odd cards, including the aces, ace, 3, 5, 7, 9 are a no. Okay? So I'm going to pull the spread, and I'm going to give you whether it's a yes or a no, and then I'm going to tell you the story that explains, right? We got a 10 of swords here. What a way to kick off. And the King of Cups. So, right? It almost as if the question is writing itself. We're looking at a painful ending here. We're crossed by a King of Cups, almost as like it's as if, you know, I can see it like, does this person love me? Is it over? You know? Seven of Cups, the root of the problem, confusion, emotional overwhelm, mixed messages. Six of Swords in the past. So maybe a period where things were calm and everything was going along well. Magician in your conscious awareness. What is it that is top of mind right now? You're trying to manifest something here in the near future. Page of Wands. Got a little bit of positive energy there. Spirit's talking to you about the Four of Swords. Some healing coming in, perhaps in your person's hidden energy. This King of Cups, hidden energy is the Wheel of Fortune. Right? Fate, destiny, karma. And there's the Fool in the outcome position. How might things unfold going forward? Might have to take a leap of faith. So when I'm adding these up, I've got a 10. That's a yes. I've got a 6. That's a yes. Magician is a yes. The Four of Swords is an even number. It's a yes. The Wheel of Fortune is a yes. And so is the Fool. We have 6 yeses. We have 3 no's because the King is a no, the 7 is a no, and the Page is a no. This is a solid yes to answer your question. It's a yes. The focus of the energy here is on this King of Cups. Could be the keeper of your heart. Could be somebody that does love you but hasn't really been able to show it or express it recently. But, we're looking at the opening sequence here with a lot of pain or maybe an ending. And you might have a question around that. 10 of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, King of Swords. Okay, so there's something kind of being strategized here behind the scenes by your person. I do feel like there is an in and out element to this, and almost a pattern in this relationship where they kind of come in hot and there's all this, maybe you're making plans for the future, or maybe, there's been an assumption that you're on the same page about building a life with this person. But because that King of Cups is crossing us, it's like there could be a lot of pain associated with this relationship because of this person's either inability to express their love or their feelings, or maybe their emotional availability is lacking, and it causes a lot of pain and has brought in a lot of painful stops and starts. But with the King of Swords there underneath, that there's, again, can be cool, can be aloof, can be a little distant and a little detached. But I feel like there's a plan here. I just feel like this person has a strategy to all of it. You may be taking this very hard. This 10 of Swords is representational of like, you just threw 10 swords at my back, right? Didn't even see it coming. Where is the love is almost like the question. Where's the love? which isn't a yes/no question, but it definitely feels like it's been a problem because there have been assumptions made about the future of this connection. So what's the root of the problem? Mixed messages. Are we on? Are we off? Is this going to work? Is it not? I'm confused. I'm overwhelmed. I can't blame you. Justice. Yeah, it feels like with the Seven of Cups, this exactly. Having the rug pulled out from under you around the topic of commitment. This could even be for some of you, not all of you, but some of you may have even been talking about marriage. And then there's like, it all comes crashing down. There's a big flip, right? Because that tower is now connected to this Ten of Swords, the Seven of Cups. It's like, what the heck is going on here? I thought we, had this all worked out. I thought we were committed. We're working towards something more long term. And then you've got this person sort of just flaking out. That Knight of Wands kind of comes in with lots of passion to bear, and then just kind of keeps going out the back door. It doesn't really have the staying power. But I think you were of the understanding that you were building something here together, working towards something more permanent, more committed. In the past, the Six of Swords, just give me a card on that. Six of Swords is usually talking about balance and getting to calmer waters after maybe a break. So I'm telling you, I'm feeling a pattern here. So I feel there's been a pattern of in and out here. And right now you're coming into this reading. In the past you had sort of like smoothed that out, but now you're in the thick of another cycle of being on the outs. Magician, top of mind. What are we manifesting? Death card, King of Cups. By the way, King of Cups is associated with Scorpio, and so is the Death card. And we are in Scorpio season. So this feels like it's very relative to the present moment. Not all readings are. Sometimes readings can kind of project into the future. Sometimes they can reflect what has already occurred. But this feels like it's pretty present energy. I feel like you've got this person and you're really trying to manifest some growth, change, and transformation, right? Knowing that something has to be left behind. Something has to kind of die off. This in and out stuff can't continue. It's hurting you. It's leaving you confused, emotionally vulnerable, overwhelmed. This Seven of Wands from the bottom of the deck feels to me like there's some assertion happening. You're kind of starting to think like, I need to assert myself, right? I know what I want, and I'm going to try to manifest the crap out of this person, making the necessary changes and showing up for me, being emotionally available and invested from their heart. So I do feel this Seven of Wands, which can be resistance. I don't think you're resisting. I feel like if they're resisting, you're trying to kind of overpower it with your assertion of what you desire and deserve. In the near future, we have the Page of Wands. Could be good news. Yeah, it is. Knight of Pentacles on that Page of Wands. Feels like in the future you get a positive assurances. Yes, I'm on board. I just need to move slower. I just need to move at a more moderate pace. Like the The Knight of Pentacles is the one that stays. The Knight of Wands, not so much. The Knight of Pentacles is what you really want, and to get that message that this person sort of communicates, I have a plan, right? Because the Knight of Pentacles begins with the end in mind, kind of reverse engineers, and comes in with an offer, but when they get there, right, that was based on a plan. They had a plan in place and they executed it step by step, in a very deliberate way with intention. So I think that's going to come as good news. And the pages are messengers. So I feel this is a message coming in that this person is letting you know, I'll get there. I'll get there. And meaning that in terms of, yeah, I got a plan. And it's not really going to be so much about anything emotional as it's going to be about correcting this sort of hot and cold, on and off, in and out energy. That there is something stable and deliberative and intentional that this person is moving toward. They may not be there right now. And I love that we have the Wheel of Fortune in their hidden energy. So Spirit's talking to you about the Four of Swords. Yeah. Lots of healing coming in for the Lovers. The Lovers is a card of choice. It is about choosing each other. There we go. Emperor, bringing all the healing. Two of Pentacles from the bottom of the deck. Just keep the energy moving, says Spirit, right? Keep that, the Two of Pentacles can be a timing reference, like a stalling for time a little bit. So, yes, it can be indecision and being on the fence and all that crap, but that's not what I see. I see if you're waiting for some healing here, you're assessing realities on the ground and you're keeping the energy moving in a way to kind of stall for time for this person to catch up. Okay? They're going to let you know that they are. And then you're going to see the evidence of it as this person, this divine masculine, chooses you. Chooses you, chooses the connection. But for this person, it's definitely, there's something going on. Let's look at their Wheel of Fortune. High Priestess, they'll know when they know that the timing is right. Eight of Pentacles, Four of Cups. I do feel like this person doesn't want to miss a good opportunity, right? Meaning they don't want you to pass them by. They don't want to be distracted and then lose you because they, weren't ready for what you were ready for when you were ready for it. But there's something here that they are very much aware without even, it's just an inner knowing. That's a gift of the High Priestess. You don't know how you know, you just know. It's intuitive. It's something within you that says the timing isn't right, but it is fated that we are together. We are fated. We are destined to be together, but the timing is not aligned for someone, and they kind of just know it. But this is something that they're working through, and they don't want to miss a good thing. They got a good thing. They don't want to let it go. They don't want to, they're probably miserable without you if we have had this kind of break. I feel like I'm looking at a breakup because of this. But this person is knowing that in divine time, they just know, like they know, you'll be able to work it out, and they're not going to allow you to pass them by. When I say allow you, you know what I mean. They're not going to allow this good thing to slip through their fingers. So how might things unfold going forward? We have the Fool. Yes, leaping past the Ten of Swords, we've got the Queen of Wands, and there is your Magician. It is going to take a leap of faith to kind of leap past how we opened up with this very devastating Ten of Swords, a very painful ending. To leap past it will take a lot of faith on your part. It will take a strong inner constitution. right? You're going to have to feel your own fierceness, your own fire, your own passion, your own power to make that leap. And it's everything you're manifesting. Okay? And remember, I even said here with the fire, like you have to burn off something. Yeah, you have to burn off all this energy of like, you know, what the F is going on? You got to burn that off. You have to sort of find the path to some kind of trust that, you know, you can either look before you leap. That's one aspect of it. Or you can say, no, I know what I'm doing here. I've got this. I'm in control. I feel strong. I feel empowered. I'm not going to let this stop me. I'm leaping for it. I'm leaping for the love. I'm leaping for the passion. I'm leaping on faith. It's everything I've been manifesting. So I see a positive outcome here. Not an easy one by any stretch of the imagination, but one that you are manifesting. And I also love that in the same place, you can't, here, let me hold this up so you can see this way. Let me see if I can get you to see what I see. Yeah. I always have to think of how it comes out in reverse. Come on. Bear with me. So you see here how it's the King of Cups that clarifies the Death card. It is the Queen of Wands that clarifies the Ten of Swords. Love and passion. This is what's pulling you together. Your love and your passion. In equal measure, look at the cards that you're landing on. Death card and Ten of Swords. It is a lot to overcome. It is a lot to leap past, but you're manifesting it right from that inner, like, no, I will have this. This is what I want. This is what I desire. This is what I deserve. And you've got that Magician, and then you close out. Last card from the bottom of the deck is you have manifested this. So you're going to, when that opportunity presents itself, you are going to want to consider very carefully taking that leap of faith. Okay, so that's what I've got for this part. In the extended, we got a King of Cups. That's the main, from the main spread. When I can take an energetic signature, it's what I like to do. We'll follow them, see their energy, see what they're processing with regard to this connection, and their thoughts about you and their intentions. So the link for that is below. It says PACB, okay, for pile B, and there's a separate link. If you enjoyed the reading, please do subscribe below. If you can give me a thumbs up and a hype, all the better. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to head to the extended right now. I'll see you there in a second. And for pile C, hang on, you're up next. Bye for now. Okay, guys, welcome pile C. This is your reading. Just want to let you know that the little rules that I'm going to share with you about how I get to the yes or no, I did not develop them. They were developed by the creator of this deck, Barbara Moore. She's got a book that kind of has a similar cover. Classic Tarot is one of her decks. This is the deck right here that she created, and she has a book, and I have her book, and this is a yes-no format that she created. Popular, famous tarot creator, oracle creator, and book writer. So, no coming in the comments to blast me for it. I didn't create it, okay? But it works. So here's how it goes. Major arcana are a yes. Court cards, meaning king, queen, knight, page, are a no. Even numbered cards, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 are a yes. odd numbered cards, including the aces, ace 3, 5, 7, 9, are a no. I'm going to pull the spread. I'm going to give you a yes or a no, and then I'm going to do the reading and tell you the story behind the answer to your question. Justice. There we go. Some Libra energy right off the bat. And crossed by the Page of Pentacles. So overall, this may be feeling like you're being a little breadcrumbed. Something doesn't feel fair. Maybe things are only inching forward in little baby steps, and that's presenting a challenge. We'll see. The root of the problem, we have the King of Wands. Again, that can be, someone who isn't sort of claiming what you have to offer, is just sort of, don't call me, I'll call you kind of energy. In the past, we have the Sun. Top of mind for you is the Eight of Wands. Good communication is always helpful. In the near future, the Moon card. You're going to have to operate by intuition to calm your fears. Spirit's talking to you about the Chariot. Moving forward, making progress, maybe a breakthrough. Wow, in the hidden energy of your person is the Wheel of Fortune. That came through in pile B as well, same placement. And then in the outcome position, we have the Ten of Swords, meaning how might things unfold? I love this deck where she's like laying there with 10 swords and she's like, can you see it? It says, everything's fine. She's on her cell phone. Everything's fine, Mom. Everything's fine. So, the Ten of Swords doesn't look great there. It can represent a painful ending. It can also represent the end of a painful cycle. So we'll see. It doesn't necessarily mean something's going to end. Got a lot of positive energies here. So let me take it into the yes-no format. Justice card is a yes. The Sun is a yes. The Eight of Wands is a yes. The Moon is a yes, that's 4. The Chariot is a yes, that's 5. So it's a yes answer. The Wheel of Fortune is a yes, that's 6. And the Ten of Swords is 7. 7 yeses, we only have 2 no's, and that would be the Page of Pentacles and the King of Wands because they're court cards. This is a resounding yes, okay? Yes to your question. So now let's jump in and see what the storyline is. We know you're dealing here with a King of Wands that, may not be picking up what you're laying down. Okay, so let's see. Something doesn't feel fair, I think. Justice in the Page of Pentacles. Right, Tower. Knight of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. I don't necessarily see the Tower as something that's falling apart. I think I see it as something that's unsustainable. Okay, I've only got this in the vertical so you can see it, but it really should be crossing that Justice card. Justice is talking about balance, harmony, things being fair, yeah, and with that Page of Pentacles, it feels like, a little bit of maybe breadcrumbing, or things just taking too long. So this is unsustainable. You really want someone that shows up for you. So in the unconscious awareness here, you're like, I need this person to have my back. I need to know that I'm being treated fairly, that they consider me important enough to show up for me. And with this Knight of Pentacles, it just might be a bit stalled out. And therefore you may feel like nothing's coming my way and this is unsustainable. You may be feeling breadcrumbed and really focusing on the lack of fairness there because you're, clearly showing up for them. So let's see the King of Wands in the root of the problem. The Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. So now we have the King and Queen of Pentacles, 8 of Cups, 10 of Cups. you believe you could have it all with this person. You could absolutely have a lot of happiness and bliss. But even thinking, like, whenever I see this Queen of Pentacles and she's looking down, she always kind of looks a little forlorn to me. Like she's looking down at this pentacle of responsibility. Like, I'm holding it all down here at home. But it's, in this case, it really looks that way. The King of Wands back to her, and, this sort of, I'll let you know when I'm, available kind of energy. It does feel a little bit like this person is MIA, just missing in action. Not really claiming things, not really showing up for you. The energies, the movement may be stalled out. You may be feeling breadcrumbed, whatever this is. It doesn't feel very sustainable. For those of you that are married, like, this is a marriage that could potentially be on the rocks. Yeah. The sun in the past. I love that we have the sun in the past and the moon in the future, right? The unknown. Yeah, I think you were on the path together. Things were happy. You kind of wanted the same things. You were moving in the same direction. So in the past, like, that's maybe why this feels so unsettling right now, is things were good in the past. You wanted the same things, maybe saw life the same way. Lots of happiness. 8 of Wands, top of mind now. And some badly needed communication. Come on, to 6 of Swords to get past this turbulent energy. Queen of Swords, I love that as well, with the Emperor underneath. So essentially, you would be designing a conversation, if you will, that is structured to, get the truth out of this person, your divine masculine, right? To make sure that you get your questions answered, because there's something here that I think you're kind of not clear on. It's not that you're feeling deceived right now, but you're unsure of what's happening, and you're not really getting any direct answer. So you're going to appeal to the highest and best of your person by being very practical minded, very level headed, very even tempered, coming at it from a, I just want us to have this conversation so we can both kind of move past any turbulence, get to something that feels a bit calmer, easier to manage, especially in terms of how you perceive things. Kind of opening up the channel of communication in a non-threatening way, I think, is what is top of mind for you. In the near future, we have the Moon, Queen of Wands, 9 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups. Ooh. So there's definitely something here that I feel disempowers you a bit in the near future, because you're not going to have all the answers. You're going to try. That's what's top of mind for you. But I feel there's a lot in the unknown, what you can't see, that sort of triggers the insecurities, the apprehensions, brings them to the surface. And I'm almost feeling this Queen of Wands in reverse, and having you feeling very isolated and on your own, and a little bit despairing. That 5 of Cups can be regrets of the past and mistakes of the past. It is a backwards facing energy, but it can also be about something that's been brewing, right? That leaves you despairing, that leaves you with some grief and sadness, and feeling maybe kind of alone with it. The Nine of Pentacles is the single person in the tarot, so we can also sort of intuit that it might leave you feeling disempowered, no real energies coming from that Queen, sort of everything like, just all the energy just kind of drains out and leaves you feeling like, am I even in a partnership here? Am I even in a relationship? I'm feeling very alone and very, very sad about it when you kind of look back in retrospect. So then we've got Spirit talking to you about the Chariot. Wow. Good, because now we get our Ten of Swords appears sort of like behind the scenes. I feel like Spirit's saying progress will be made. We may have a big breakthrough coming. The Chariot moves toward something or away from something to serve the higher good. I don't think it's about moving away from this committed energy. I think it's about understanding the self, right? Really, maybe it's going to take a little bit of a solitary journey for there to be a big breakthrough, so that you can sort of move past, breakthrough past this threat of an ending. So I'm not seeing an ending. We'll get to the outcome position, because of course that can always be something unexpected, but we don't have anything in the cosmos right now that would indicate that. It could, but we've got Mercury retrograde. We're in the pre-shadow phase, so there is always that. But I feel like Spirit's saying the breakthrough here will come from some time apart and deep reflection and self-awareness and introspection, and really kind of your own individual personal growth that sort of then leads to some form of breakthrough around this Ten of Swords for your person. This King of Wands, I'm going to call it a King of Wands. They've got the Wheel of Fortune in their hidden energy. Knight of Wands, passionate return. Let's work on this too. By the way, all three readings, especially B and now C, almost overlap even in terms of cards, even in terms of different deck, different clarifying deck, and the same cards are coming out in slightly different places and with slightly different meanings. So it's not completely unreasonable, even though you chose pile C, to go watch pile B, because there's connections here. I'm drawing, I can't really remember pile A as well, but definitely B and C. But there's this similar theme of this person in the hidden energy really valuing the partnership. You are their soulmate. They know they have to work on this. Here's the passionate return. It's like they're being guided. Jupiter, right? The planet of abundance and expansion. And also, not for nothing, the planet of fate, destiny, and karma. And it's like this person's like, wait a minute, I've got this amazing connection here at the level of heart and soul. I got to get back to it. I've got to do the work. So this is not something that they can just sort of, breadcrumb their way through. They've got to really show up. They can't be playing games, because that's not sustainable. They've got to give you something substantial. Knight of Pentacles has to get moving. And I feel like they've got something brewing here where they have the inspiration and the motivation to do just that once they realize, oh my gosh, this is, this connection is destiny. We belong together, Two of Cups, and I've got to hold up my end of the bargain. I've got to work on it. So let's see the Ten of Swords. Everything's fine. Yeah, Four of Wands, Eight of Wands, Seven of Wands. Again, almost to the letter, some of the same energies as pile B. you're going to have to fight for that. You're going to have to take a stand. I see this sort of energy behind the scenes of both of you sort of asserting yourselves in this communication about the beginning of life partnership. If we want to salvage it, we're going to have to really have a serious conversation about what we're taking a stand for, and that we will accept no substitutions. So I don't see it as an ending. I see it as this Ten of Swords is a definite potential threat, because we have a tower here. We've got something that's unsustainable. And when something is unsustainable, it leads us to realize, well, we're either going to stay or we're going to go. This is either going to work or it's going to end badly. And so the ending badly is an option. But I think because you're leading here, top of mind for you is the Eight of Wands with the Six of Swords, a conversation that helps the two of you get beyond the turbulence, because you're going to spearhead that with a level head and balanced emotions and clear communication to your divine masculine. And then in the outcome, it's that conversation that makes or breaks it, and helps you kind of put to bed a painful cycle. So could it end? Sure, if that's what you both decide. But I feel from what I see from this person and what I see from the message from Spirit about how there might be a breakthrough that comes from this time apart, where you're both kind of journeying in a solitary way, coming to terms with who you are and what you're bringing to the party, and your person's like, holy crap, I better get back because I'm supposed to be with this person and I need to put in more effort and make it a priority instead of just giving this person crumbs. That's what's happening. I hope it has spoken to you. I'm going to take it to the extended now from this King of Wands point of view. We'll get into more detail as to how they're processing this relationship and what's happening in it right now, how they see you, think about you, or feel about you at this time. What are their intentions? So if you want to follow me there for that deeper dive, the link is below. It says PACC, which is pile C, and at the link for the extended. Again, it's for the deeper dive from this person's point of view, gives you a little bit more information of what's going on behind their eyeballs. Okay, so I'll see you there in a second. Bye for now, and thanks to all of you for joining me for this little break in the monotony and changing things up, and I hope it was fruitful for you. Bye for now.